Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today is the disappearance day of Srila Rupa Goswami and Gauridasa Pandit. So we're going to read about them. First, Srila Rupa Goswami. He is one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Our Gaudiya Sampradaya is also, we are known as Rupanugas, followers of Rupa Goswami, because he presented the philosophy and everything which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. Okay, so I begin reading. Rupa Goswami was extremely dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Through him and his elder brother Sri Sanatan Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami, Mahaprabhu disseminated his own teachings, the essential conclusions of all scriptures. Amongst the devotees of Mahaprabhu, these two were known as his generals. In Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, Kavi Karnapura has written that Sri Rupa Goswami was known as Rupa Manjari during Krishna Leela. There is an anecdote as to how they came to be ministers of the king of Gauradesh, Hussain Shah Badshah. They were ministers of the ruling Muslim Badshah, the ruler. So how did that happen? At a very young age, even at a young age, they were very learned in scripture. And the guru, or we say Maulavi of Hussain Shah, was capable of seeing into the future. So Hussain Shah inquired from him about prosperity of his kingdom. The Maulavi replied that they are 2 extremely learned Brahmana boys who are endowed with all good qualities. If you appoint them as your ministers, then you will attain a very opulent kingdom. Having heard the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa had written a letter to him praying for his darshan. Anyway, so this Maulavi said that if you bring these 2 boys into your kingdom, court and make them ministers, the kingdom will prosper. So he did that. He recruited them. But Rupa Goswami, having heard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa had written a letter to him praying for his darshan. In his reply, Mahaprabhu explained to him that as a woman is attached to another man, makes a show of being devoted to her husband. So you should, while being internally attached to the lotus feet of Krishna, externally make a show of being engaged in your worldly duties. Krishna will bestow his mercy on you very soon. So while residing at Ramkeli, Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan were visited by many Brahmanas and Panditas from Navadvip, Karnataka, and various other parts of India. They were always careful to receive these guests and serve them in a befitting manner. They lived in a very opulent surrounding in Ramkeli. So they were situated in Ramkeli. Their court, which rivaled that of Lord Indra, was always attended by Brahmanas, Pandits from many lands, as well as poets, singers, musicians and dancers. At great expense they maintained these guests and were always very careful that no one was disrespected in any way. They were always engaged in studying the Shastras and could establish and defeat the same philosophical arguments alternatively. Near their house were solitary gardens of Kadamba and other trees, in the middle of which were Radha Kund, Shyam Kund. There they would meditate on the Vrindavan pastimes of Sri Radha Shyam, and thus losing their patience, a constant stream of tears would flow from their eyes. They were always absorbed in the service of Sri Madan Mohan and constantly assuaged their grief by praying for his mercy. Hearing of the pastimes of Sri Gaura Sundar at Nadia, they were always meditating when they might get his darshan. Rupa Goswami worshipable. A lot of this is coming from Bhakti Ratnakar, like what I just read. Rupa Goswami's worshipable deity in Vrindavan was Srila Govinda Dev. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed the Goswamis to rediscover the holy places of Krishna's pastimes in Vraj and to establish worship of his Sri Vigraha. One day, Sri Rupa was sitting on the bank of Yamuna, lamenting that they hadn't been able to carry out the instructions. It was known to them that Sri Krishna's grandson, Vrajanav, had installed a number of deities in Braj. Among them was Haridev, Madan Mohan, Gopinath, Sri Govinda Dev. He installed many deities. Sri Rupa had tried to locate these deities, but to no avail. As he was sitting and thinking in this way, a very beautiful cowherd boy came along and said, "Hey Swami, why do you look so sad?" Hearing the boy's cheerful voice, Sri Rupa's melancholy reverie was broken and his heart felt gladdened. He replied that he was feeling sad because he hadn't been able to follow Mahaprabhu's instruction properly. The cowherd boy told him, "Swamin, please come with me. I know where what you are looking for is." Then the boy brought him to Gomtil and explained, "Every day a cow comes on top of this hill and pours down her milk. There's a good chance you will find what you're looking for inside. Now I have to go." Sri Rupa turned to see the cowherd boy off, but found no one present. He began to reflect, who was that cowherd boy and where did he run off so suddenly? His body thrilled with ecstatic symptoms as he intently gazed at the Mahayog Pit, Gomatil, and then went back to his kutir. The next morning he again came to Gomtil and quietly waited. After a little while, an exquisitely beautiful Surabhi cow came there and poured down milk on top of the hill, which immediately disappeared inside the earth, the milk. Then she sauntered on into the woods. Now Sri Rupa was positive that Sri Govinda Dev must be within the earth here. He came very quickly to the village of cowherds nearby and excitedly told them everything that had happened. The cowherd men hurriedly gathered up some spades and hatchets, came running to Gomtil. Digging where Sri Rupa indicated, they saw, after removing a small mound of earth, the all-enchanting form of Sri Govinda Dev. They all erupted in shouts of ecstasy. "Hari, Hari! Sri Govinda Dev has again manifested himself." Sri Rupa, with his tears flowing from his eyes, fell down at the lotus feet of Sri Govinda Dev and offered his obeisances, all the while reciting prayers and hymns. Very quickly the news spread and other Goswamis floating in an ocean of joy came there also. Soon an incessant flow of people from all quarters began to arrive, carried by waves of joy. Lord Brahma and other demigods, having assumed mortal appearances, mixed in with other people and gazed upon the body of Sri Govinda Dev. There was not a lull in the crowd for even a moment as people continued to pour in from places unknown. Sri Rupa Goswami immediately sent word to Mahaprabhu in Puri concerning this auspicious event. Sri Gaura Sundar, along with his associates, couldn't contain their own ecstasy on receiving this happy news. Meanwhile, the Brahmanas performed Abhishek of the deity and began to prepare offerings of bhoga from the milk, yogurt, rice, flour and vegetables which the villagers were bringing. Mahaprabhu sent Kashishwar Pandit from Puri to assist in worshipping the deity. Sri Govinda Dev is presently being worshipped in Jaipur, Rajasthan, which is easily reached by bus from Vrindavan. One has to proceed by rickshaw to Sri Radha Govinda Mandir from the bus stand. Overjoyed that Sri Govinda Ji and Madan Mohan had reappeared, and thus the responsibilities which Mahaprabhu had given them were gradually being carried out, Sri Rupa and Sanatan began to compose Bhakti Shastras in compliance with Mahaprabhu's further instructions. After completing Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav and other books, Sri Rupa began to work on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. One day, Sri Vallabhacharya of the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya came to visit Rupa Goswami. After offering him a seat, two of them began to discuss Krishna Katha. In the house of their conversation, Sri Rupa presented the opening verse of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu to Vallabhacharya to read. After studying this verse for some time, Vallabh commented that there were a few mistakes. At this time, Sri Jiva, who had arrived from Bengal a few days before, was fanning his uncle Sri Rupa. He was extremely learned in all Shastras and was unsatisfied with Vallabh's remark. When Vallabhacharya went to the Yamuna to take his bath, Sri Jiva also came there on the pretext of fetching some water. He inquired from the Acharya as to what actually were the mistakes in that verse. Vallabhacharya, after discussing some points with him, was amazed at the boy's scholarship. After a few days, Vallabh again came to Sri Rupa. After inquiring about the boy's scholar, he greatly praised his learning. After Vallabh had gone to his residence, Sri Rupa called Jiva and spoke to him. Those whom we respect as our Guru and to whom we offer our obeisances, you are ready to debate with on an equal level. This is not at all polite. What he spoke was for my benefit. But you couldn't tolerate that. You should return home, and when you can control your mind, then you can come back to Vrindavan. This is in Bhakti Ratnakar's. Hearing this discussion of his uncle, Sri Jiva left that place and decided to proceed eastwards. When he came to an old dilapidated temple at Nandaghat, he sat down and began to cry. Soon the villagers began to worry. Such a handsome young man, but he sits there crying for so long without taking food. After a while, Sri Sanatan Goswami came by and the villagers informed Sanatan of the boy's presence at the old temple. Sanatan went there and saw his nephew, who looked very pale from not eating. Sanatan picked him up from the ground and affectionately asked him what was the matter. Sri Jiva explained everything that had happened. Sanatan Goswami pacified him and, taking his nephew with him, went to see his brother. At first, Sanatan spoke with Rupa alone. When Sri Rupa happened to mention Sri Jiva, Sanatan explained everything. Sri Rupa immediately called Jiva. Seeing his forlorn and pale appearance, he gradually nursed him back to health and to a happy state of mind. Then he entrusted him with proofreading and various literatures which he had composed. Just as he was very strict with his young nephew, so also was he very affectionate and loving. Their relationship was an ideal example of how the Guru and Shishya behave together. When Sri Rupa had finished writing Lalita Madhav, he gave it to Raghunath Das Goswami to read. Lalita Madhav is a description of Krishna's pastimes after he left Vrindavan, and is thus full with sentiments in the mood of separation. By reading this book, Das Goswami began to cry, and at night, having become completely absorbed in love and separation to the point of being ready to leave his body. Again, narration from Bhakti Ratnakar, what I read. He became as though deranged in mind from sadness, and he completely lost all patience. When Sri Rup requested Sri Das Goswami to return the manuscript so that he could correct it, Raghunath Das held on to it very tightly, not saying anything, refusing to part with it. After considering what to do, Sri Rup composed Dana Keli Kaumudi. He managed to exchange this manuscript with Lalita Madhav. By reading Dan Keli Kaumudi, full of narrations of Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, Raghunath Das Goswami now became totally absorbed in ecstasy of happiness. On another occasion, the Goswamis were having a discussion about the ecstatic feelings of separation of Radha Krishna and their associates. Some of the Vaishnavas were fainting to the ground, while Sri Rupa Goswami began to breathe very heavily, his heart heavy, as though it was burning. At one point, as he sighed, his breath happened to fall on the body of one devotee present there. Shortly thereafter, a boil developed on that devotee's body where Sri Rupa's breath had touched it. After the reappearance of Sri Govinda, Madan Mohan and the Yogpith, Sri Rupa began to contemplate where Vrinda Devi might be. One night she came to him in a dream and said, "I am on the bank of Brahmakund. You can have my darshan there." The next morning, after finishing his bath and puja, he came to Brahmakund and began to look everywhere. Suddenly, he saw a heavenly damsel whose bodily effulgence defeated the luster of gold. All the directions were illuminated by this glow, and the atmosphere created by her presence was very sweet and cooling. Sri Rupa offered his dandavat and various prayers and hymns. In this way, Vrinda Devi reappeared in Vrajabhumi. Sri Gaurasundar established the glories of Sri Vrajadam through his two generals, Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis. Within their hearts, he awakened through oral transmission the knowledge of what was in his own heart. Sri Rupa Goswami has established in this world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya. When will he give me the shelter at his lotus feet? Narottam Das Thakur said this. It's a famous prayer. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he wrote in Rupa Pranam. Where have you seen this verse? Where is this verse? You don't seen it? Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam. Yeah. It's in our Bhagavad Gita in the beginning. So it's from Narottam Das Thakur. Sri Rupa completed many literatures, some of what he wrote. Sri Hang Saduta Kavya, Sri Uddhav Sandesh, Sri Krishna Janmatiti Vidhi, Brihat Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, Radha Krishna Ganodesha Deepika, Stavamala, Vidagdha Madhav, Lalita Madhav, Dana Keli Kamodi, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjwal Nilamani, Pratyukta Khyata Manjari, Mathura Mahima, Padyavali, Natak, Chandrika, Lagu Bhagavatamrita, among others. Okay, now all of you name one Shastra of Rupa Goswami. You name one? Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. You name one? Which one? Leela something. Yeah, definitely you'll get. Name one Shastra of Rupa Goswami. He just said that. Another one?
He said Vidagdha.
Then again, just now he said it. Two. You said two. You meant to say one. Okay, say another one.
I didn't hear that.
Huh? I listed 10 just now. Okay, fine.
Mathura
Mahima. Good. You got it. You got off. Okay. So now, when is the appearance of Rupa Goswami? Disappearance of Rupa Goswami? Today is what?
Disappearance day of.
What is the date? Don't tell me 17.
Dwadashi.
Today is Dwadashi. Okay. You don't know the month? Shravan month. And which Paksha?
Paksha is Gaur.
Gaur Paksha. But Purnima is in a few days. Okay. You have to be aware of these things. Okay, now I read about some of the pastimes and that. Now, some narrations about his position in our Sampradaya. Okay, this is another narration. In 1517, Rupa Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami came to Vrindavan to fulfill 4 orders of Lord Chaitanya. Okay, remember, I'll ask you if you have to pay attention. Yeah? Okay, first, uncover Sri Krishna's lost pastimes and places. Second, install deities and start their puja. 3. Write Bhakti Shastras. 4. Propagate rules of Bhakti Yoga. Okay. First one? Any?
Find places
Of lost pastimes. Yeah?
Install deities.
Same thing. That's same.
Uncover the holy places.
Yeah.
Install deities.
Yeah, it says here, uncover pastimes. Yeah, install deities. Okay. Then? Write Bhakti Shastras. Propagate rules of Bhakti. Okay, fine. So now I continue the narration. I'll keep asking you in between. You have to, pay attention. Wearing only kopan and loincloth and kantha, patchwork quilt, Sri Rupa Goswami lived a mendicant's life, absorbed in hearing, chanting, writing about Radha Govinda's sweet, loving pastimes in Sri Vrindavan Dham. More details of his conduct and character are mentioned in Sri Sanatana Goswami's biography. So one thing to know also that Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were from very pious Brahmana families and wealthy. And how they left, that's also a very big, amazing pastime, which is given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. They had to trick the god and bribe, and how they left and joined Mahaprabhu, because the ruler didn't want them to leave. All the 6 Goswamis were from elevated families, aristocratic. Tyaktva turnam ashesha mandalapatim shrenim sada tuchavat. They gave up Tyaktva turnam ashesha mandalapati. They gave up the highest aristocratic and rich position, tucha, as if it's nothing, and took up the service, which means that that was a greater treasure they felt they got, that they could give up this material wealth. Sri Rupa Goswami wrote practical yet profound transcendental books. He established Sri Sri Radha Govindaji, the beloved deities of the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya. Through extensive, we read how he got Govindadev, how he found. Through extensive Vedic research, Sri Rupa Goswami proved that Sri Chaitanya's teachings present the highest philosophy and the perfection of religion. Gaudiya Vaishnavas are known as Rupanugas. Oh, this is an important point, that Rupa Goswami and the other Goswamis, Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipunau, they were expert at studying the Shastras and taking out the bhakti quotes. So he established that the path, Sri Chaitanya's teachings, were the highest philosophical and religious position in the Vedas. Gaudiya Vaishnavas are known as Rupanugas, followers of Sri Rupa Goswami. Every Rupanuga devotee aspires to become a servant of the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Narottam Das Thakur sings, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, se more Sampada, se more Bhajana Pujan. The feet of Sri Rupa Manjari, Rupa Goswami's eternal form as Sri Radha's maidservant in Vraja, are my only wealth. They are the only object of my service and worship. Even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes at the end of the chapters. What does he write? Who read it? At the end of the Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Hoibe Okuti Kave Muja Bhagavan Se Jugalab. Something like that. Yeah, oh sorry, yeah. Shri Rupa Raghunath Pade Yar Ash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. That was our song, what I was saying. Yeah, this is written at the end of the, maybe every chapter, most chapters, that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, because they were his gurus. He considered them his gurus. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu commissioned Sri Rupa Goswami to write on the science of Rasa Tattva. In Chaitanya Chandrodaya, Sri Kavi Karnapura says that Sri Rupa Goswami is the form of true love and devotion. Sri Chaitanya empowered him to explain his own love and devotion and to propagate it to the world. Lord Chaitanya manifested his own pastimes through Sri Rupa Goswami. He received the title Bhakti Rasacharya, Guru of Devotional Mellows, for his devotional classics. The books such as Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjwal Neelamani, Lalita Madhav and others. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu gives the essence of all Vedic scriptures regarding the kingdom of bhakti. In great detail it explains how to advance in Krishna consciousness and attain prema bhakti, pure unalloyed love for Radha Govinda in Sri Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada said that Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is the supermost contribution of the Gaudiya Sampradaya to the human society. It gives such a wealth, because if the highest position of the jiva is to be a servant in devotional service of Krishna. So attaining bhakti, how you do that? Guidance is given. Guidance is given how to go to Goloka. Such a great text. One ISKCON sannyasi said that actually we should read it every 3 to 4 months to be considered a Vaishnava, to properly keep in touch all the details of bhakti. To understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, says Narottam Das Thakur, you must serve the lotus feet of Sri Rupa with intense eagerness. Serving means hearing, studying, means yes, hearing or studying, chanting, strictly following teachings of Rupa Goswami. Serving also means, which means, this Upadeshamrita. Upadeshamrita, he is given instructions. So Prabhupada made it one of the main books. Serving also means praying to and crying out to, meditating upon, dedicating your entire life to the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Rupa Manjari. Sadhana Deepika states that those on the path of devotional service must always associate with Sri Rupa Goswami's doctrines on Prema Bhakti. By the grace of Sri Jiva Goswami, one can understand the transcendental truths of Rupa Goswami's teachings. So it's an important point here, we'll repeat it, that it says that one on the path of bhakti should always associate with his doctrines on Prema Bhakti, his teachings of Prema Bhakti. And Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion, these, like that. So these books guide us to bhakti. Otherwise, we know about the Vedas. In the Vedas, it's very scarce. Direct information of bhakti, how to attain Krishna, most of it is on karma kand level. It's very scarce. But the 6 Goswamis, Nana Shastra Vichara Naika Nipuno, they were expert at studying the Shastras, Sadharma Samsthapako, in order to establish the Sanatan Dharma. What is Sanatan Dharma? Service to Lord Krishna. Eternal, fixed service to Lord Krishna. So now there's a quote here from one of the Gaudiya, modern day Gaudiya Acharyas. He has written that the following quote shows incredible potency of Sri Rupa Goswami's writings, the potency. Sri Rupa Goswami would sit in his bhajan kutir at Ter Kadam. Ter Kadam is situated in Nandagram area of Vrindavan. In Nandagram, same place as Barsana and Nandagaon, these places are there. So he would sit there and write about the pangs of separation that Sri Radha and Krishna felt for one another. And the leaves of the Kadamba tree would fall off just like tears running down the face of someone in pain. And when Rupa wrote about Radha and Krishna's ecstatic loving reunions, that overjoyed the Kadamba tree immediately sprouted new leaves and blossoming flowers. By the mercy of pure Vaishnavas like Sri Rupa Goswami, this Kadamba tree could understand and appreciate the intimate and confidential subject matters that they were writing. But of course, as we see in, if we read Krishna, 10th canto of Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna glorifies the trees of Vrindavan there. And we also understand these are not normal trees, they are desire trees, fully conscious. There's a section here, which I'll read, explaining more about the tree. This is important. The tree, actually when we go, we're going to see this place, to Vrindavan. Ter Kadam, in Nandagaon area. It is situated between Yavat and Nandagaon. So Rupa Goswami would sit here. And even now, this is in the middle of nowhere, between some farms and fields. Thank God. Soon everything will be covered in cement. It's one of the most notable sites of Rajamandala. Here, a small temple has been constructed in the midst of a group of Kadamba trees. This is also the place of Krishna's Ras Leela. Hence, a platform has been constructed to commemorate this pastime. So it's believed that Krishna used to bring his cows to graze at this place. And when it was time to return home, he used to climb up on this Kadamba tree and play on his flute. Hearing him play, because Krishna had 3 flutes, different purposes. One he'll call the gopis, one he'll call the flutes. When he went to take out the cows, he'll keep the flute in his belt. So when he blew the flute, then the cows would immediately return. Krishna would then count each cow on his jeweled necklace before departing for Nandagaon, according to the colors. I think there was some 108 colors, and then so many of each. So on one bead, he'll count all those color cows, the red ones, the white, the black. Sometimes under the gentle light of a full moon, Krishna would climb this tree, play upon his flute to call upon his Sakhis. Radha and the other gopis would then leave their homes to respond to the call of their beloved. The surrendered gopis would then engage in the rasa dance with Krishna. Since Krishna climbed upon this Kadamba tree and played his flute, to call here bracket is ter, maybe in Brij Bhash, ter. Now in Hindi if you say call, it's not that, it's not the word. It must be in Brij Bhash. It's saying to call. Calling is in T-E-R, in Brij Bhash. So since he will call the cows, ter, the cows in this place came to be known as Ter Kadamba. So Rupa Goswami lived at Ter Kadam for many years, being absorbed in the pastimes of the divine couple. He had penned some of his most important books during his stay at Ter Kadam. Ujjwal Neelamani, Padyavali, Lalita Madhav, Dana Keli Komudi, and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, to mention a few. Shall I ask you which book? You got it. Okay. Ujjwal Neelamani. Okay, you can hear the lecture later. There's a very interesting pastime associated with this place. Once Sanatana Goswami visited his brother Rupa at Ter Kadam. Sanatana Goswami came. Rupa Goswami greeted him joyfully, but unfortunately had no food to offer. He earnestly wished that if he had some sweet rice, he could have treated his brother well. Just as he was pondering, a beautiful young girl brought ghee, milk, sugar, and other ingredients. Her mother had sent them to be distributed to the saints, she said. The young girl handed over the ingredients to Rupa Goswami and requested them to be cooked. Saying this, the girl left. Rupa Goswami immediately cooked the sweet rice, offered it to the deities, and subsequently served it to Sanatana Goswami. As soon as he tasted it, Sanatana Goswami almost fainted with devotional ecstasy. He immediately understood the identity of the young girl. She was none other than Vrindavaneshwari Radharani. He revealed his realizations to Rupa and admonished his brother for wanting to treat him with sweet rice instead of rendering service to Radhika. They have now ended up accepting her service instead of serving her. So he chastised him. Sanatan then enjoyed the prasadam in great bliss. And if you go there and have a class, the pujari will come out with sweet rice. Have you been? That happened. I went 2-3 times. It's happened. Previously, there used to be a lot of kadamba trees near Ter Kadam, but they have mostly disappeared owing to stagnant rainwater. It's true, water is less there now. On Gopashtami, local Vrijvasis organize programs at Ter Kadam to commemorate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. They also decorate cows and feed them. It's 2 kilometers from Nanda Bhavan, this place. So very amazing places in Vrindavan we should visit. Okay. Rupa Goswami established deities of Radha Govinda. We read about that in Vrindavan. In Bhakti Ratnakar, there's a song from Srinivasa Acharya to describe the beauty of Rupa Goswami's beloved Govinda deity. Having seen, this is the song, having seen the incomparable beauty of Sri Govinda, Sri Radhika begins describing it to her Sakhis. Who has sculptured that moon-like face? And who has sculptured those 2 lotus eyes? Only my heart knows how I feel when I see him. Who has shaped his earrings, cut carefully in gems? My mind is fixed on them. His nose pearl, surrounded by golden ring, looks like a moon-like white flower, surrounded by lightning, smiling from behind some clouds. His forehead is decorated with sandal tilak and beautiful mind-enchanting designs. He shines within my heart, yet my heart aches, being incapable of beholding his beautiful face to my full satisfaction. If God had given me the power, I could continually enjoy his sweet voice. His arms are stronger than trunks of elephants. I'm not going to read more than this. This is from some esoteric literature. Today in Jaipur, Rajasthan, Sri Rupa Goswami's original deities of Sri Radha Govindaji are forever expanding their unlimited beauty. Every day, tens of thousands of devotees run to attend the Mangala Arati. A Pratibhu deity, Uttamurti, of Govindaji resides in the new Govinda temple behind the historic masterpiece of architecture that once served as Radha Govinda in Vrindavan. Actually, beautiful big temples were built in Vrindavan. Then the Mughal Muslims destroyed them. So the deities are still there, but not in the original buildings, like Madan Mohan Govindaji. Let me say it more properly. It was destroyed by those rulers, the Delhi Sultan. They were in Delhi Sultan. Those rulers, they destroyed it. Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj says that the deity of Radha Govindaji shows us how to worship Radha and Krishna. Abhideya. Radha Govindaji accepts our service and gives inspiration to increase our surrender on the path of bhakti. Actually, acting exactly like Shiksha Guru, Govindaji directs us to give us opportunities to serve him. Some authorities claim that in 1564, Rupa Goswami entered Radha Govinda's Nitya Leela just 27 days after disappearance of Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami's Samadhi and Bhajan Kutir are located, where are they located? In that area of Vrindavan. What is the name? It's called Seva Kunj. Within the courtyard of Radha Damodar, in Seva Kunj. So Rupa Goswami, a major acharya in a Gaudiya line, because Mahaprabhu's teachings come to us through Rupa Goswami in his writings and verses composed. And of course, other Goswamis, Sanatana Goswami also. He knows a lot about the science, Tattva Acharya. He was, if you read teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Sanatana Shiksha covered the science of the expansions, the form of Krishna, how he comes, his existence, like that. And the rasa aspect is by Rupa Goswami. So in this way they established our basis, foundation, teachings, philosophy, and the method of worship. So many things were established by them. And therefore we are known as Rupanugas. And in Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, with his Mangalacharan, he first glorified Sri Guru, Tasmai Sri Guru. Then the next verse, immediately, he is glorifying Rupa Goswami with a verse taken from Narottam Das Thakur. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayham Dadati Sapadantikam. When will Sri Rupa Goswami, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the order of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter at his lotus feet? So today is the disappearance of Rupa Goswami. There will be a big festival there in Radha Damodar. Today is also the disappearance day of Gauridasa Pandit. Gauridasa Pandit is a holy place associated with him, which is located in Ambika Kalna, which is just not so far from Navadip Dham. Okay, so we'll just read about Gauridasa Pandit also when I find it. Just 1 second. Okay, so Sri Gauridasa Pandit is the emblem. This is taken from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gauridasa Pandit, the emblem of the most elevated devotional service in love of Godhead, had the greatest potency to receive and deliver such love. Making Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda the Lord of his life, Gauridasa Pandit sacrificed everything for the service of Lord Nityananda. Before taking sannyas, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda visited Gauridasa Pandit in Ambika Kalna. If you're taking the train from Howrah to Navadip, it comes few stops before. Ambika Kalna. It's before known as Kalna. Ambika Kalna now. Fearing their impending separation, Gauridas cried and begged the Lord to stay longer. Mahaprabhu made life-size knee-mood deities of Gaur-Nitai to console him. He manifested neem deities, life-size, big, like our head, to console his depression. Gauridas, my Murti form is as good as I am, Lord Gauranga said. We will forever remain in your home and accept your service. Gauridas Pandit worshipped Gaur-Nitai in many intimate ways, talking sweetly to them, cooking a variety of tasty foods, discussing Shastra with them, attending to their every need throughout the day. Even when old and feeble, Gauridas ceaselessly served his worshipable lords, Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai. Although poor, he desired to decorate Gaur-Nitai with costly, beautiful ornaments. Knowing his mind, Gaur-Nityananda lavishly adorned themselves. Beholding their exquisite beauty, Gauridas became astonished. Where did they get these ornaments? He thought. Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai would often enact such transcendental pastimes in the home of their pure devotee, Gauridas Pandit. One time, Chaitanya Das, Gauridas's foremost disciple, organized a huge Sankirtan festival on the bank of the Ganga. Enraptured by Kirtan, Gauridas's deities jumped off the altar and joined the devotees in chanting and dancing. That won't happen often. Discovering the deities missing from the temple, Gauridas grabbed a stick and ran to catch Gaur-Nitai. Seeing his angry mood, Gaur-Nitai vanished. At that moment, Gauridas watched in amazement to see Gaur-Nitai enter the heart, Hirday, of Chaitanya Das. Gauridas embraced his beloved disciple, bathed him with tears and said, "You are most fortunate. From today your name will be Hirday Chaitanya, one who holds Sri Chaitanya within his heart." Since then, Gaur-Nitai's darshan at Gauridas Pandit's temple is offered in many brief intervals like Banki Bihari in Vrindavan. Why? To keep Gaur-Nitai from jumping off the altar. The pujari opens and quickly closes the curtain, or he'll enter, if a pure devotee comes, he'll go with them. While doing bhajan in Dhira Samira Kunj in Vrindavan, Gauridas Pandit entered the eternal Gaur-Charan Leela, cow-herding pastimes of Krishna Balaram. In Vraja, he is Subal, a Dwadasha Gopal. You know the Dwadasha Gopals? They are the close associates of Krishna. There were many Gopals, but the closest ones, 12 of them, he is one of them. His samadhi is within the Shyam Rai temple compound in Dhira Samira, Vrindavan. We should go there. Gauridas Pandit, actually his name, in our Guru Parampara, we have different chains, Krishna, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami, then the different 6 Goswamis, they had disciples, it went on and on like that. So, in that way, not all of them will come in our Guru Parampara, that's shown in Bhagavad Gita. The principal ones are there. But Gauridas Pandit, in that line, there's a lot of acharyas. For example, Gauridas Pandit's disciple, Hirday Chaitanya, his disciple was Shyamananda Pandit. Shyamananda Pandit, there was one pastime that he had with Radharani. He found that anklet of Radharani. Then one day someone came to him, Sakhi, a woman came, said that this is my friend's Nupur. You give it to me, I'll give it back to you. He said, no, I'll give it personally. No, you cannot, because she'll not meet any man. So you have to become a gopi. So she transformed her. He dipped in some kun and became what's his name was? Shyamananda. Something like Shyamanandi Gopi, something. So then personally he entered Vrindavan, the same place where he was. He got the vision and entered and met Radharani, because they are always there in Seva Kunj. And so then she was happy and took the bracelet and made a touched on the forehead. Then the tilak came like this, round, like our tilak, but little round here. Now, within Gaudiya Sampradaya, they're Gaudiyas, they follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are known as Shyamanandis, they're his succession. So he preached, and his foremost disciple, Rasikananda, he also preached, especially in Orissa. He preached, and so many followers are there now. They established many temples, and all Orissa, northern part, became Vaishnava followers. It was not before. They were praying to Krishna, send someone, because atheists are increasing. So then they became Vaishnava. So that special tilak is there. When you see, you can understand they're Shyamanandis. And within Vrindavan, they have one of the biggest temples, Radha Shyam Sundar. Because that deity, when Radharani met Shyamananda Pandit, she gave him a deity from her heart. So that deity came from her heart. It's there. It's so beautiful. Known as Shyam Sundar. So the deity is still there. And that place is known Radha Shyam Sundar, which is just in Seva Kunj area, on the same line as Radha Damodar, very close. But it's a huge area. At all the temples, they have a big area, because they always used to come and congregate there and pilgrimage. It's like the temple is on a stage, and then there's a whole area. They have satsang. So now Gauridasa Pandit's disciple is Hriday Chaitanya. Hriday Chaitanya's disciple is Shyamananda. Shyamananda's disciple Rasikananda. And the chains are continuing like that. Paddling it themselves. Lord Chaitanya kept the oar in his hand. When he entered Gauridasa's house, that oar, Nityananda and Chaitanya, they came themselves rowing. So when he entered Gauridasa's house, he brought that oar, oar paddle. So he gave it to him and said, with this, you should cross over the ocean of material existence, taking all living entities with you. This is one pastime that happened. Gauridasa Pandit's older brother, Surya Das Sarakali, had two daughters, Sri Vasudha and Janava Devi. He gave them in marriage to Nityananda. Actually, they're his eternal consorts. To Nityananda, near the conclusion of his Navadip pastimes. When Mahaprabhu desired to accept sannyas, he came to Kalna to bid farewell to Gauridas. At that time, Gauridas became afflicted by separation. Hereafter is a nice song which describes what occurred at that time. In Thakur Pandit's house, Lord Gauranga was dancing ecstatically, revolving round and round, while Lord Nityananda chanted, Hari Hari. Gauridas, however, was crying very piteously and incessantly because they were going to go. He fell at the Lord's feet, begged him, please don't go away, don't leave here. Just honor this one request, stay here in Ambikanagar. This is my last submission at your feet. If you go away, surely I will die. Don't try to trick me like this. You did as you did to the gopis, giving some high philosophy about your bhava murti or anything like that. I must keep you here in such a way that I can see you. You two brothers, just stay with me. Thus everyone will become liberated. Again I am petitioning you, don't leave here. Gaura Hari. Then I will know you are the deliverers of the fallen. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu replied, Gauridas, give up this idea. You can just serve my deity. For I am personally present in that form also. You should know this to be a fact. Just accept that what I am telling you as the truth. So a pastime happened with the Vigraha of Gaur Nitai, which he gave to Gauridas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you can just serve my deity form, for I am personally present in that form. You should know this for a fact. Just accept what I am telling you as truth. Hearing this, Gauridas simply let out a deep sigh and continued to cry. He kept crying. So seeing that Gauridas was very distraught, Mahaprabhu spoke to him very gently. All right, we will stay with you, knowing in all certainty that we two brothers will stay in your house. We will not leave. So, Then Gaur-Nitai came in front of him, and the deities, they also became Gaur-Nitai, physical form. So he told them, 4 of them are there now. 2 Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and 2 Nityananda forms. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Gauridasa, you choose, who do you want? So Gauridasa was shocked. Whichever 2 you can recognize as us, will stay with you. We'll become deities and you'll worship. You can worship us, the other 2 will go. Because we are non-different than the deities. So Gauridasa was immediately shocked. But instead what he did, he immediately began to cook. And he fed all 4 of them, double Gaur-Nitais, and offered them all nice cloth, garlanded with garlands. Then he offered pan and betel nuts for chewing, smeared sandalwood paste on their body. By serving them in various ways, he regained his composure and became peaceful. At the same time, decided which 2 he will keep in his house. Due to the Pandit's pure love, the 2 lords remained with him and asked him to feed them when they were hungry. While the other 2 left, got up, and then those 2 became deities that he chose. The other 2 started leaving for Nilachal. Okay, there's a longer narration here, but I'll stop here. You can read it about it separately. Okay, Shri Rupa Goswami ki jai, Shri Gauridasa Pandit ki jai. Hare Krishna.